We're on Facebook Live here at Abbas and Citron in Dublin, and Mahmoud Abbas is due to arrive any minute. So we're here doing a peaceful demonstration. We object to his pay for slay policy, and we remember Avri who was brutally stabbed to death last Sunday. This pay for slay policy, where terrorists' families are paid salaries for life, for murdering innocent Israeli civilians, innocent Jews in Israel. We stand against that. We're very opposed to it, and we know that the terrorist family have already received $3,000, and over a lifetime that family will receive $1.7 million. So it's absolutely disgusting. America has already pulled over $200 million in funding to the PA because of their incitement to violence. Australia has also pulled money, and so is Belgium. They've pulled money from UNRWA because they call terrorists martyrs after the schools. So he's coming actually. I believe I can see some motorcades here. So I believe that he's just about to arrive. So okay, he's just about to arrive. Okay, here he comes.
You can tell them what's happening.
Here he comes. The cavalcade is arriving. Mahmoud Abbas, chairman of the Palestinian Authority. Here he comes. Here he comes. No pay for slay. 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 Okay. So that's it.
That's the first cavalcade. We assume that's. Yeah, we can assume that cavalcade both had the Abbas and the Taoiseach Leo Varadkar within it, and maybe the President himself. However, we're not 100%, but we will assume that that's everything. But we will be here. You can keep an eye on us for the next 10 minutes, and we're going to be here in case another cavalcade comes along. But we don't understand why Trump was dissed and made feel bad about coming here for his female fumblings when America does so much for Ireland and he's an elected president, whereas Mahmoud Abbas is a despot who is for 15 years is in a position due to strong-arm tactics, and he is paying per slay of Israelis, etc., without any trial or jury, etc., and stabbing people in the back, as Avri was stabbed in the back, a 45-year-old man stabbed in the back by a 17-year-old in a cowardly act as he was walking along. Avri managed to pull off a shot at him before he died, and he caught him. So we're just waiting here for a while longer to see whether a second cavalcade comes along. We would assume that was both of the people, both the Taoiseach Leo Varadkar as well as Mahmoud Abbas. So
we're also saying no more Irish taxpayers' money to go to terrorism. No more Irish taxpayers' money.
That's it. No more Irish taxpayers' money towards terrorism. Because how does that work, Jackie? The funding.
The funding. They receive millions of euro. The Palestinian Authority receives millions of euro from the Irish taxpayer. It's paid through Irish aid, and there's also a lot of money goes to various anti-Israel NGOs, both in Ireland and in Israel, and So we're saying no more. In this country with a homelessness crisis and many other issues with the health system, and we're saying no more money. If he is coming here to try and persuade the Irish government to up the aid, then we say absolutely no, because we know that America has pulled its aid, Australia has pulled its aid, and also Belgium. So we say no, we're not suckers, no more money. We want all of the aid to be pulled, and certainly not any more to be given.
Just to repeat, we are at the Áras an Uachtaráin, the office, the house, the private residence of the President of Ireland, the figurehead similar to the Queen within England, and Mahmoud Abbas and the Taoiseach Leo Varadkar are visiting the President. This is an official visit. The red carpet has been rolled out for Mahmoud Abbas, whereas Donald Trump has been didn't wish to come here because he wasn't going to get as good a reception. The amount of American companies that are in Ireland giving Irish people jobs for this man who's basically a businessman, and you have a despot, a dictator who's there for so many years using strong arm tactics, not democratically elected, and he is paying people to anyone just to stab or kill or bomb Israelis in suicide bombings, stabbings, etc. And this is unacceptable.
Yeah.
We're trying to put our foot down and say this. Irish people, open your eyes, open your eyes, wake up. There's a lot of liberal theory, etc., and maybe a little bit of anti-Semitism that gives a slant against the Israeli situation. But if you got the Israeli news, if you saw what was happening to them on a day-to-day basis, you would understand why they sometimes have to clamp down on certain situations. You would understand that. What do you think about that, Jackie?
Yeah, absolutely. I agree wholeheartedly. So it's we stand against everything that Abbas stands for. We want a peaceful solution. Of course, we want a peaceful solution to this, and
this is a peaceful protest today.
Yeah, this is a peaceful protest. So we're just hoping that both President Higgins, the Irish President, and our Foreign Minister Simon Coveney just relays to Abbas that he needs to come back to the negotiating table. Abbas has consistently refused to sit and speak to the Americans about a peace deal. So we're saying, come back to the negotiation table and no more pay for slay. It is totally unacceptable.
Okay, we'll take a short break and we might be back to chat again. Thank you.
I believe Abbas was in France yesterday, and through France, he told Macron that he wants to go back to the negotiation table for him to relay the message to Trump.
Today at the meeting today, we were saying at the meeting. So just to realise that everything is safe
That was great, Jackie. Well done.
So we're all done.
actually, no,
On the 17th.
Okay, did you are you going all the way back to Mayo now? How long will that take you? Are you going on the train? Oh yeah, take care. See you next time. Sure I have. Somewhere. Bye. Take your time. Possibly.
So now I have here Mark Humphries with me. He also wants to say a few words to you about the situation here. Just to remind everyone, we're at the Abbas and Citron, the house of the President of Ireland, and Mahmoud Abbas is coming here to visit the Taoiseach and the President. The red carpet has been laid out, whereas Donald Trump was somewhat, he just didn't want to come, our economic partner.
Yeah, well, I think, like a lot of us, we don't quite do protests. It's people of different politics do protests. So it is kind of strange to be standing by the side of the road we did a chant, no pay to slay, to Abbas, and it does feel weird. But of course, it is a deadly serious topic, which is that our money, taxpayers' money, is going to pay to kill Jews in Israel and in the West Bank, and pretty much any random person, any random Palestinian who kills any random Jew is guaranteed a supply of payment afterwards from Abbas's Palestinian Authority. And this is a disgrace. I mean, it's extraordinary, you know, the
so
taxpayers'
it's not only targeted people, it's not only targeted people who have had some sort of what they would feel a negative effect on the Palestinians. Any Jewish person, they will receive money.
Anybody at all. I mean, I don't have a list of all the people who are getting paid, but basically you carry out a stabbing attack, a ramming attack on the streets, just attack whoever happens to be walking by with their shopping bags, and a week later, the PA, or a month later, the PA will be announcing the payment to your family if you're killed. And they're all legitimate targets as far as the PA is concerned. It's a terrorist regime, it's a terrorist authority, and always has been.
And can you see any positive steps to be taken by the Palestinian Authority if you were to offer them any window, any way forward to make this better? How can people make this good?
Well, what I always say is that in some struggles around the world, your only chance is to keep up the struggle and finally defeat the tyrant who's oppressing you or whatever. This is not one of those struggles. This is a struggle where everything will get better for the Palestinians if they give up their struggle. They just give up the cause, give up the jihad, give up the struggle, and compromise, talk, come to some compromise interim deal, and pursue things like money, pursue the economy, pursue schools, education, business, jobs, shopping, pleasure, cafes, money.
Well, there seems to be a lot invested. There's a lot invested in continuing on the conflict.
It's what gives their life meaning, or at least those who are engaged in the conflict. And there just aren't enough.
The leaders will receive funding, like Abbas will continue to receive funding as long as there's a conflict. However, they should realise that they will receive aid and afterwards, if there isn't a conflict also.
It's well, actually, I mean, from a lot of Westerners only support the Palestinian cause because the Palestinians are engaged in this unreasonable level of violence, aggression, and lack of compromise.
So it's like yes.
It's a contradiction or whatever. If the Palestinians decided, well, you know, 70 years of struggle has got us nowhere, we're just going to come to some compromise deal with the Israeli state, we'll define some borders, and we'll end all terrorism, the Western left would be absolutely horrified. All their supporters in the West would regard it as an awful betrayal. And yet it would be the best thing for the Palestinians to do, it would be the best for their future.
Well, the hand of the Israelis is out, as it always has been, to have peace. And the Israelis do not want to have a continued fight, they do not want to have any of that. And the standard of living and the lives of Palestinians themselves and the children, everybody wants the children to have a good future. So it's a lose-lose situation for everyone. So with that, we would just like to say peace for everyone, and we want to see things moving forward in the Palestinian-Israeli diplomatic efforts. And we want to see the Western world and the Eastern world giving a bit of help to Israel and the Palestinian Authority and Gaza to make up.
Stop rewarding bad behaviour.
Stop rewarding bad behaviour. Thank you. From the President's house in Ireland on Abbas and Citron, goodbye. Thank you.
I like that smile at the end.
Okay.